First Contact's Deception. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the Quantum Observatory's main console, her eyes fixed on readings that shouldn't exist. The massive array of sensors beneath the Atacama Desert had detected something impossible: perfectly coordinated quantum fluctuations at the edge of the solar system. "Director Chen, you need to see this," she called out, her voice steady despite the implications of what she was seeing. The observatory's director hurried over, his usual composed demeanor cracking as he studied the data. The quantum distortions formed a perfect lattice around the solar system, too perfect to be natural. Humanity had suspected they weren't alone in the universe, but this was the first concrete proof. More concerning was the implication. These structures had been there for centuries, watching, waiting. "How many?" Chen asked, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. 17 distinct observation posts," Elena replied. "But here's the interesting part. They're using different technologies. These aren't from a single civilization. This is a coalition." Before Chen could respond, the quantum sensors screamed with new activity. The lattice was changing, expanding. After centuries of passive observation, their watchers were finally making themselves known. The first alien transmission reached Earth simultaneously through every communication channel humanity possessed. The message was simple: "Children of Earth, you have advanced enough to join the galactic community. We come in peace." Elena exchanged knowing looks with Chen. For 15 years, they had been part of humanity's greatest secret, Project Watchman. While the world went about its business, the brightest minds on Earth had been preparing for this moment, analyzing the quantum signatures of their hidden observers, reverse engineering alien technologies from the faintest traces they left behind. The aliens thought they were making first contact with an innocent, developing civilization. They didn't realize humanity had been watching them watch us. Within hours, massive alien ships appeared in orbit, their designs as diverse as their origins. The Arcturian crystals, geometric ships that seemed to ignore physics. The Proxima biomechanical vessels that pulsed like living hearts. The Syrian energy constructs that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. As the world's governments scrambled to respond to the apparent first contact, Elena and her colleagues activated protocols decades in the making. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, quantum computers that the aliens thought impossible for humanity to develop came online. In hidden facilities across the globe, weapons and defenses born from years of studying alien technology powered up. The coalition's representatives spoke of peace and mentorship, but their careful questions revealed their true concerns. How had humanity advanced so quickly? Why had Earth's quantum signature suddenly spiked? What was the source of the anomalous energy readings their sensors detected? Elena attended the first diplomatic meeting as a scientific advisor, watching as alien representatives from 12 different species discussed humanity's integration into their carefully managed galactic community. Their condescension was subtle but clear. They saw Earth as a primitive world to be guided and controlled. When the Arcturian ambassador spoke of sharing appropriate technology, Elena had to hide her smile. In her pocket, she carried a quantum processor more advanced than anything the coalition possessed, developed by humans who had learned to think beyond the constraints of conventional physics. The coalition had spent centuries ensuring Earth developed along their preferred path. They never considered that their observation posts had leaked enough information for humanity to forge its own way. They thought they were welcoming children into their community. They were about to discover they had overlooked something fundamental about humanity. We learn, we adapt, and we prepare. The real first contact wasn't beginning. It had started centuries ago, and humanity had been getting ready for this moment ever since. The Coalition's challenge. The warning came at midnight UTC. Dr. Marcus Zhang, head of Earth's Quantum Defense Initiative, received the alert while reviewing data from the Coalition's latest cultural exchange. The quantum sensors beneath Antarctica had detected massive energy buildups at the edge of the solar system, the kind that preceded large-scale military operations. They're earlier than we expected, Sarah Chen, his deputy and granddaughter of Director Chen, noted as she studied the readings. The coalition must have accessed our civilian networks. Marcus nodded grimly. The aliens had discovered fragments of Earth's true technological capabilities, not enough to reveal humanity's full strength, but sufficient to trigger their containment protocols. According to the classified historical records they decoded from the observation posts, the coalition had done this before to other species that developed too quickly. The alien ships in orbit began moving into strategic positions, their crews still maintaining the pretense of peaceful cultural exchange. Through quantum entanglement communications that the coalition couldn't detect, reports flowed in from Earth's hidden facilities worldwide. The Arcturian ambassador requested an emergency meeting with Earth's United Defense Council. Marcus attended virtually, his quantum presence indistinguishable from physical attendance. Thanks to technology, the aliens thought humanity was centuries from developing. "We have detected concerning anomalies in your development pattern," the ambassador announced, their crystalline form refracting light in complex patterns. "For the safety of all species, we must implement temporary restrictions on Earth's technological advancement." The other coalition representatives nodded in agreement, their diverse forms unified in purpose. They expected compliance, submission to their superior might. They had contained dozens of species this way before. But humanity had learned from those previous victims. The quantum signatures of their containment fields had leaked information about imprisoned civilizations across the galaxy. Earth had spent decades preparing countermeasures. "We understand your concerns," Marcus replied carefully, "but we must decline these restrictions." The ambassador's crystalline form flickered with surprise. This wasn't in their behavioral models for primitive species. Before they could respond, Sarah initiated Project Mirror. Across the solar system, hidden quantum arrays activated. The coalition's ships suddenly found their most advanced systems reflected back at them. Their own technology turned into a weapon against their containment efforts. "What you call anomalies," Marcus continued, "we call human nature. We evolve, we adapt, we overcome. You've been watching us for centuries, but you never truly understood us." The coalition ships attempted to establish their containment field, a massive quantum barrier that would isolate Earth from the rest of the galaxy. But humanity had developed in ways the aliens hadn't thought possible, forging paths through physics that their rigid minds hadn't considered. The containment field failed spectacularly as Earth's quantum defense grid came online. Decades of studying the coalition's technology had taught humanity not just how to copy it, but how to improve it. Where alien quantum systems relied on perfect mathematical harmony, human engineers had learned to harness chaos itself. In orbit, coalition ships found themselves cut off from their quantum networks, their sophisticated technologies reduced to their most basic functions. The aliens had never considered that their perfect systems could be undone by controlled imperfection, the very trait they had dismissed as human weakness. "Your containment protocols have failed," Sarah announced to the stunned ambassador. "But unlike you, we don't seek to imprison those we don't understand. We offer a choice: retreat and recognize Earth's sovereignty, or face the full extent of human innovation." The coalition representatives conferred frantically as their sensors revealed more human capabilities they had never dreamed possible. Their perfect models of technological development had never accounted for humanity's unique approach to physics and engineering. They had come to contain a primitive species. Instead, they found themselves facing a civilization that had turned their own oversight into an advantage, learning and growing in ways their rigid hierarchies couldn't comprehend. Project Phoenix Rising. The coalition's response came swiftly and brutally. Thousands of warships emerged from quantum space, their weapons charged. Species that had been ancient enemies now united against what they saw as a common threat: humanity's unpredictable evolution. Admiral Maya Patel stood on the bridge of the EDS Prometheus, humanity's first true quantum battleship, watching as the alien armada assembled. Most of the coalition's civilian ships had retreated, but their military vessels represented the combined might of 12 spacefaring civilizations. They still think they have the advantage, Maya noted to her XO, Commander David Rivera. Their quantum scans can't penetrate our defense grid. What the coalition couldn't see was Project Phoenix Rising, humanity's masterstroke. While alien observers had watched Earth's surface for centuries, humans had been building something unprecedented beneath the moon's surface. The lunar quantum forge was humanity's greatest achievement, a machine that could manipulate the fabric of space-time itself. The aliens had dismissed the moon as a dead satellite, their rigid thinking unable to conceive of using an entire celestial body as a weapon component. All stations report ready, David announced. The forge is at full power. Maya opened a channel to all Earth Defense Forces. This is Admiral Patel. Execute Operation Daybreak. Across Earth's hemisphere, quantum arrays that had been masquerading as primitive satellite networks revealed their true nature. The coalition fleet found their perfect formation disrupted by space-time distortions they couldn't comprehend. But the real surprise came from the moon. The lunar surface rippled like mercury as the quantum forge activated, transforming Earth's satellite into something that defied conventional physics. The coalition's sensors couldn't process what they were seeing. Their rigid mathematical models simply couldn't account for it. They're charging weapons, David reported calmly. Let them, Maya replied. They're about to learn why humanity's chaotic approach to quantum physics is superior to their perfect formulas. The coalition opened fire, thousands of energy weapons converging on Earth's defensive grid. But the attacks didn't strike their targets. Instead, the lunar forge captured the energy, channeling it through the quantum arrays humanity had spent decades preparing. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, monitoring from the Quantum Observatory, watched in satisfaction as Project Phoenix worked exactly as designed. The forge is converting their attacks into usable energy, she reported through the quantum network. Their weapons are literally making us stronger. The coalition commanders, watching their most powerful weapons fail, finally began to understand. Humanity hadn't just been developing technology. They'd been revolutionizing it. Where alien civilizations saw quantum mechanics as a set of immutable laws, humans had learned to surf the waves of probability itself. Maya opened a channel to the coalition fleet. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your containment fields cannot hold us. But we are not your enemy unless you force us to be. The response came from the Arcturian flagship, its crystalline form pulsing with agitation. Impossible. Your species cannot have advanced this far. Our models. Your models are flawed, Maya interrupted. They assume technology must develop along predictable paths. They cannot account for human creativity, for our ability to look at the impossible and ask why not. As if to emphasize her point, the lunar forge pulsed, sending ripples through space-time that made the coalition fleet's perfect formations scatter like leaves in a wind they couldn't detect. Their mighty armada, built on millennia of tested principles, found itself powerless against human innovation. You can retreat, Maya continued, or you can witness firsthand why adapting to chaos is more powerful than enforcing order. The coalition commanders faced a choice they had never encountered in their long history. Admit their fundamental assumptions about technological development were wrong, or risk destruction by forces they couldn't understand. The battle for Sol. The coalition chose war. Their response to humanity's ultimatum came in the form of a technological marvel, a quantum cascade designed to unravel the very fabric of space-time around Earth's solar system. It was their ultimate weapon, one that had ended civilizations before. Captain Sarah Chen watched from the Quantum Observatory as reality itself seemed to shiver around the edges of their sensor range. They're trying to collapse our entire timeline, she reported to Admiral Patel. This is beyond anything we decoded from their observation posts. But humanity had one final card to play. While the coalition had focused on Earth and the moon, they'd overlooked humanity's greatest strength, our ability to work together in secret. Throughout the solar system, seemingly dormant human outposts on Mars, Europa, and Titan suddenly activated. Each hosted a quantum forge node, smaller than the lunar installation, but precisely positioned. Earth's solar system wasn't just humanity's cradle, it was the largest quantum computer ever constructed. Initialize the Helios protocol, Admiral Patel commanded from the Prometheus. Across the system, human quantum engineers activated their nodes in perfect synchronization. The Coalition's cascade wave met something unprecedented, a quantum defense grid extending throughout the entire solar system. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now coordinating from the Martian Quantum Forge, smiled as her readings confirmed what humanity had theorized but never tested. "The grid is holding," she reported. "Their cascade is feeding our network, just like their weapons." The Coalition fleet commanders watched in horror as their ultimate weapon not only failed but strengthened their opponent. Humanity had turned the entire solar system into a quantum amplification array, using the Coalition's own attack to power defenses they hadn't known were possible. "Impossible," the Syrian commander transmitted, their energy form fluctuating with distress. "You cannot have achieved this level of quantum integration. Our models show." "Your models," Admiral Patel interrupted, "are based on species that develop in isolation. Humanity is different. We cooperate. We share knowledge. We build on each other's discoveries." The truth dawned on the Coalition forces too late. While their civilizations had evolved separately, coming together only to contain threats, humanity had developed as a united species. Every human advancement was shared, improved upon, and implemented globally. The Coalition's quantum cascade, designed to unravel space-time, instead became the catalyst for humanity's greatest achievement. The solar system's quantum network, powered by the Coalition's attack, began to reshape reality in ways even humanity hadn't fully predicted. Mars's rusty surface shimmered as its forge node channeled unprecedented energy levels. Europa's icy crust became a quantum lens, focusing and redirecting space-time distortions. Titan's atmospheric quantum array turned Saturn's largest moon into a reality anchor, stabilizing the solar system against the Coalition's assault. "They're preparing a second cascade," Commander Rivera reported from his station on the Prometheus. "Multiple quantum signatures detected." Admiral Patel's expression remained calm. "Let them come. Humanity didn't build this network just to defend ourselves." She opened a channel to all human installations across the solar system. "This is Admiral Patel. Execute Protocol Sunrise." The Coalition launched their second attack, expecting to overwhelm humanity's defenses through sheer power. Instead, they found their quantum cascade reflected back at them, amplified and refined by humanity's solar system-wide network. Dozens of Coalition ships vanished as their own weapon turned against them, their perfect formations disrupted by chaos they couldn't control. Those that remained faced a choice: retreat or be unmade by their own hubris. A new dawn. The battle for Sol lasted less than 6 hours, but its implications would reshape galactic civilization forever. As the Coalition fleet retreated in disarray, their own weapons turned against them by humanity's quantum network, the true victory wasn't in defeating them, it was in showing them a better way. Admiral Maya Patel stood in the newly constructed Galactic Assembly on Mars, facing representatives from not just the Coalition species, but dozens of other civilizations they had contained over the millennia. The quantum network that had defended Earth now served a different purpose, allowing instantaneous communication across the galaxy. "Humanity's greatest strength," she addressed the assembled aliens, "isn't our technology. It's our ability to learn from each other, to share knowledge, to turn competitors into collaborators." The Arcturian ambassador's crystalline form shimmered with new patterns, uncertainty mixed with curiosity. "Your species developed differently than any we have encountered. Where we saw chaos to be controlled, you found opportunities for growth." Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now Earth's chief of Scientists, brought up a holographic display showing the quantum connections spreading between formerly isolated civilizations. The Coalition's containment policy didn't just hold back other species, she explained. It held back all of us. Innovation doesn't come from isolation. It comes from collaboration. The evidence was undeniable. Within weeks of the Coalition's defeat, humanity had begun sharing their quantum technology with the formerly contained species. The results exceeded even human expectations. Civilizations that had been trapped for millennia were now making breakthroughs that astonished even their former captors. Your quantum network, the Syrian representative observed, their energy form pulsing with excitement. It's not just a defense system or a communication tool. It's a model for a new kind of galactic society. Sarah Chen, monitoring the quantum flows from her station on Europa, reported unprecedented levels of information exchange between species. Ancient enemies were sharing discoveries, solving problems together that had stumped them individually for eons. We don't seek to replace the Coalition's leadership, Maya assured the assembly. We propose something unprecedented, a true galactic community, where every species contributes its unique perspective, where differences are celebrated, not contained. The Proximan delegate, their biomechanical form adapting to show agreement, spoke next. Our containment by the Coalition taught us fear. Humanity has taught us hope. As if to emphasize this point, the quantum network pulsed with new discoveries. A formerly contained species had combined human quantum principles with their own biological technology, creating organic computers that could interface directly with spacetime. Another had adapted humanity's chaos-surfing algorithms to revolutionize interstellar travel. This is just the beginning, Elena announced, showing projections of possible developments. Together, we can explore aspects of reality none of us could comprehend alone. The Coalition species, those that had chosen to stay and learn rather than retreat in shame, were discovering that their rigid adherence to perfect models had limited their own growth. By learning to embrace uncertainty and chaos as humanity did, they were advancing faster than they had in millennia. Maya activated a final display, showing the quantum connection spreading between stars like a nervous system awakening. We faced extinction, she concluded, and instead found transcendence. Not through dominance, but through cooperation. Not through containment, but through freedom to grow. The assembly erupted in a chorus of agreement expressed in 1,000 different ways. Crystalline chimes, energy pulses, biochemical signals. The age of containment was over. A new era of galactic civilization had begun, sparked by a species that had turned observation into innovation, threat into opportunity, and enemies into allies. In Earth orbit, the quantum network shimmered with possibilities, carrying the combined knowledge and creativity of countless civilizations. Humanity had not just survived the Coalition's attempt to contain them. They had liberated the galaxy from its own fears, proving that the greatest achievements come not from controlling chaos, but from learning to dance with it. The end.